Right, these leaks were put online on Friday, just hours before the French media blackout went into effect. Now, it's interesting that they first appeared in the United States. They were first publicized by posters on the 4chan forum. And that's a site that's a forum that's popular with the alt-right, the people who helped get Donald Trump elected in the United States. So they posted links to these documents at around 8:30 French time, just before the midnight deadline for the media to stop talking about things like this. And then just 20 minutes later, a well-known figure on the American far right, he tweeted the link to the documents as well. And then it was taken up by WikiLeaks, which is the whistleblowing site. Now, WikiLeaks were clear that they didn't publish the initial leaks, but they did play a role in propagating them by tweeting that maybe it's a 4chan practical joke. Now then, at 11:40 French time, so just 3 hours after these files initially appeared on an obscure American forum, there was a tweet from the number 2 in the National Front, Florian Philippot, and he said that maybe Macron leaks, which is what it was being called, the hashtag it was being given, maybe Macron leaks will teach us things that investigative journalists have been deliberately suppressing. So it just took 3 hours for this information to get out there and already get into the words of the number two of the National Front Party.
Yeah, and we've been hearing lots of people, actually, because of course we haven't been able to talk about it up until 8 p.m. this evening. It's illegal according to French media law. And people really saying French media law has saved the day and it's contained all the damage. Any thoughts as to where that dossier originated from, Derek?
Well, as you say, French journalists haven't been talking about this in detail. They haven't been reporting much about the content of the leaks. One thing they have been looking into the leaks, though. They have been examining the documents. The content of the documents, they say it's mostly innocuous campaign documents that any campaign in the world would have had on its email servers. But they have found some interesting information. They've been looking at the metadata, which is the information that accompanies the documents as they go from computer to computer, and they found Russian words inside that metadata. Now, that is not at all conclusive in and of itself, because there are many ways that words can get into that metadata. But it does raise an interesting point. It's a reminder that in March, there were allegations that a Russian hacking group that is potentially close to Russian military intelligence was targeting Macron's campaign even then. And these are possibly the same hackers who stole files from the Democratic National Committee in the States. So it's raised that point. It's raised a lot of questions about the connections between hackers, possibly in a foreign country, then people on a US board, a US forum, and then politicians here in France.